Okay, so here we are to do a self-right test. And we just want to see how fast will this thing turn back over when it capsizes. Here we go. Just going to turn it over. Whoa, did you see how quick that did that? That's amazing. Let's do that one more time. All right. Upside down. Whoop, there it goes. Okay, here we go with another self-righting test. We'll see what happens. Sometimes it takes it a little while. That's a horse. Huh. Well. Oops. You can see my patch repair. There it goes. There it goes. So I would just basically say that it's a mixed bag, you know. Sometimes it self-rights just fine. If it has water in it, most likely it's going to take a while, if at all. So you need to be really careful. You need to empty out your water as often as you possibly can. Just expect that sometimes this might happen, and sometimes it might be difficult for you to get your Sonicwake out of the water. It's just the way it is. It's self-righting, but it's not a perfect technology. But if the wind's blowing a certain way, it may never flip back over either. Oh, there it finally goes. All right. So sometimes the Sonicwake just isn't going to self-right itself. You know, maybe it's got too much water in it. Maybe the center of gravity is up too high. And that's where the jet jam comes in handy, because sometimes all the Sonicwake or a lot of other self-righting boats need is just a little push. And there you go. This, I believe, is what you call a cheap alternative to getting the Sonicwake to turn back over. Well, it's kind of bringing it in. Oh yeah, that's going the wrong way though. Here it comes. Will we be able to get it in? Oh no. So yeah, man, I mean, this works. There's a little bit to it, but you know, you can get your boat in. And there we go. Now, like I said, it's a mixed bag when it comes to the self-right feature of the Sonicwake V2. Sometimes, if not most of the time, it will do just fine. But at other times, it's going to take it a while for it to turn back over, or we have to face the reality of it, it might not turn back over at all. That's usually caused, like I was talking about, by the boat being too top-heavy. Maybe there's water in the hull or something like that. Even a heavier battery could make a difference. And there's not enough wave action here for me to demonstrate it today. But this has actually happened to me before. The Sonicwake self-rights clockwise when you're standing looking toward the front of the boat. And if your boat is faced in a certain direction, the waves may actually prevent it from turning back over. It's true, the waves can actually help it to turn back over, but in certain situations, it could create a problem. So the self-right works good. It works real good, but it's not perfect, and I think probably no boat is perfect when it comes to the self-right feature. So I would advise you to get a rescue boat. Like I showed you, most of the time your Sonicwake or your other self-righting boats, if they won't self-right, all they need is a little bump, a little push to turn them back over. Which, by the way, I would advise you to get a rescue boat with a jet drive, like the Jet Jam. You don't want an exposed propeller, and a jet drive does not have an exposed propeller. Your Sonicwake, it might be stuck out there in the sticks, it might be out there in the weeds, and you wouldn't be able to get it out with an exposed prop, or even worse, you might get your rescue boat hung up as well. And also make sure that your rescue boat has some kind of scoop on the front of it. Either buy one with a scoop or build one that you can put on it. I bought the Jet Jam because of the scoop. It is an expensive boat. It's too expensive, in fact. So you might actually buy a cheaper boat, build your own scoop, and it may even work better. But with the scoop, like I showed you, you can snag one of the rear components, like the rudder, the turn fins, the tubing. You can snag one of the components and that will enable you to push it in. But I will say, if I did not have a scoop, I think it would have been next to impossible to push the boat back in. You could turn it over if it wouldn't self-right, but I doubt that you could push it back in if it were dead in the water. So I would advise you to get something with a scoop. I would also advise you to get a fishing pole. You can buy a cheap rod and reel, get you a couple of top water lures. Those are lures that stay on the surface of the water as you're reeling them in. Cast it out there. You can snag one of the components and reel it in. You may have to cast it a few times for sure, but eventually you should be able to get it out there and bring it in. And I would also say, get yourself a life jacket, okay? People have actually died trying to swim to their boat, and that's a sad thing. You know, there's going to be your boat out in the middle of the pond or in the middle of the lake, and it's going to be capsized or it's going to be dead in the water, and you're going to be tempted to go out there and swim and get it. When you've got $700 sitting out in the middle of the lake, you're going to want to go get it, right? And so bring a life jacket, bring a flotation device. So I hope this has been helpful in your buying, making decisions if you're going to buy the Sonicwake V2 anytime soon. The Sonicwake is a great boat. I've had mine for over 2 years and I love it. And in fact, it's a durable boat. I have a durability review that I've done on it here on my channel. Go check that out. I guarantee it, you'll have fun with the Sonicwake. Thank you for watching. If you want to spray someone at the beach, this is how it's done.